Guys, how you doing? Happy day to you. And that sounds crazy, right? Happy day. Anyway, hello, how are you doing? This is my fourth lesson in my business and entrepreneur journey series for beginners, for people who weren't formally trained in business, for people who are just starting out and don't know the full principles and theories and concepts of business. Look, we all don't know things that we venture out into. You don't have to know it. Nobody knows anything from the get-go. You might have a talent, you might have some inclinations, but you got to train it and you got to learn the formal way. You got to know the right way to do it. And the right way to do it just simply means that people over the years have studied it, they have taken the examples, they have taken all the experiences, they have watched and tracked and recorded and observed and done experiments on all the things that work, and they've packaged it into a formal area of study. And it is the thing that has been proven to work for many, 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 many years. That's all it means. It doesn't mean that some people are brighter than some people and some people figure out and some people haven't figured it out. Okay, so we're on to the last lesson. We did production, and we were talking about the product. Whether you are doing a product or a service, we're talking about the principle of the main pillar of a business, having a business, and that's the product or the service that you offer. You must have something to sell. You must have something to offer if you're going to go into business, right? So we had to start there. And we talk about the systems. We talk about identifying what you're doing. We talk about understanding how to have a decent quality and picking your business model when it comes on to what you're going to offer, how you're going to offer it. Looking into the marketplace, understanding how you're going to source this thing, how you're going to deliver this product, and creating systems and structures. A simple system and structure to deliver this product. We'll get into knowing your customers and how you match product to customers and all that stuff. But I wanted you to understand that you're going to have to identify how you're going to create this product or source this product or deliver this service. And you're going to have to identify that this is a product that is solving a need in the marketplace, that there is a demand for, and people want it, and people are willing to pay a price for it that is profitable and viable for you who are going to offer the service, who are going to have the business. Now we're going to get to the second branch of the production aspect of business, the production principle, the factor of the production of the service, of the product or of the service that you're going to offer. And that is what most people get wrong from the get-go, and they can never find themselves back. And that is crunching the numbers. Business and life is numbers, math. You gotta crunch the maths, whether it's on your time, whether it's on your money, whether it's on your energy, whether it's on your sleep, whether it's on the calorie intakes, whatever you're doing, you have to crunch the maths. That's the first thing they do when they hire you somewhere. They tell you what time you're supposed to be at work, they tell you what time you're supposed to leave, they tell you how much they're gonna pay you. All that is numbers. You have to get your numbers right. So if you're going to produce something for sale, if you're going to buy something for a sale, if you're going to deliver a service, you have to know the input cost. In business, we call it input cost. How much is going to go into the production or the delivery of this particular product or service? You must calculate that. So it's usually easy for somebody who's going to buy something for resale. They say, okay, I'm buying a case of soda for $25. I'm going to resell it for $50. Okay, it costs me per unit to pick up that case of soda, $5, and to write up the invoice and to pay this person who helps me to do it, per unit it costs me $10. So I'm now at $40. $10 is my profit. If I sell 100 case of sodas, I make $100. If I make 100, I make $1,000. And $1,000, out of that $1,000, I usually sell 100 for the month. Out of that $1,000, 300 is my rent. I have 200 other expenses, and now I am netting somewhere in the region of $500 for my profit. I can go with that because if I grow it, X and Y will happen. So you have to know your numbers. If you're buying a case of soda for $20, the $20 is usually what they call your cost of goods sold, meaning how much is the direct cost of the case of soda, not the overhead cost of the delivery of it, the electricity that you pay for the space that you rent to store the sodas, not the rent, not the labor cost, just the direct money that you pay for the goods to get the goods. That they call the cost of goods sold. You don't have to worry about that. You're not an accountant, but you have to understand that if I buy it for 10, I at least have to sell it for more than 10 upfront. Like there's no money, there's no business if you have to sell it for 9 or anything below 10. 10 is break even point. Now you understand there's almost no business to if you're going to break even on a product that is the only product you have. There are concepts in business that allow you to break even on some product. They call them the loss leaders. So you can pull people to buy other products that you're making money on. So like supermarkets, they will either break even or almost lose money on eggs and bread because they want to get you into the supermarket. You'll buy sauce and you'll buy other things that they will make the money on. But they have to use that loss or that break even as kind of advertising to get you in there, if you understand what I'm saying. So you must crunch the numbers on your costs. If it's usually easy, as I said, with something like a case of soda or something that's tangible that you're going to be buying. With things like that are further out. For example, let's say you are raising chickens or you're doing livestock, whether pigs, chickens, or whatever. You have more work to do in tallying up your numbers to know how it's going to work out. In most cases, when you're doing these things, you have to have a projection. You have to have a working knowledge of what it's going to cost you for the 6 months that's going to take for you to be able to sell this thing. So that is a little bit more work because you're going to get 10 chickens for $100 and it's going to cost you $100 to buy feed them. It's going to cost you electricity to bring that 10 chickens to crop for 50. It's going to cost you $30 a month to pay somebody to look after the chicken. You have to add up all those costs. You have to have a projection before you start to. Somebody who has done it before and who know the numbers, you got to go to them. You got to figure out the numbers and say, okay, I'm paying $100 for it, and for the 4 months or 6 weeks or whatever it takes for these things to be ready, it's going to cost me another $200. And when I sell these 10, I'm going to make $300. I'm going to make $100 in 6 months time. And you put in all the costs that you can factor. But do not go into something and don't know the numbers, because you'll lose your shirt. A lot of people do that and hope to make money, or because they spend the input costs, that the cost that goes into it, the input cost is staggered over time. They don't realize that they're losing. So they put a $50 here, they put a $10 there, they don't track it, and then they sell it and they get $5,000 and they say, oh, I made $5,000. No, you did not make $5,000. You have to include all the costs that you have incurred. Take away from the revenue you got, and then you'll know how much you make. Most people don't bother, small business don't bother to track their costs. They just leave it open. Oh yeah, I spend this and I spend that, and they try to wing it and put it in their head. Do not do that. You need data, and that data have to be recorded. If you work somewhere and your boss called you into his office and he said, how much did we do, or what did we do with the report on Mr. Johnson's account last year or last week, and how much does Mr. Johnson hold? You're not going to bring that to your bosses if you're trying to remember that stuff. They'll probably fire you. You'd have to go for the file or pull up the account on the system. It's the same thing with your business. Small businesses want to ignore that. You have to pull up the numbers. You have to record the information. And we're talking about your input costs. You must record your input costs and keep track of them. You must have a system to do it, a system to record it, and a system to be able to retrieve it so you can track it. You need to track your input costs on the product or on the service you're delivering. If you're building a house and the person's buying the material and you're having 10 guys working with you and you have to go all over the place to get material and to clean up, and you have to be recording your input costs so you can take it away. You can relate it to the total cost of the project to know how much you are making. So you will know that most times I make 10% on the project. Is that acceptable? Is that not acceptable? Do I need to increase my prices? Can I decrease my prices? Can I give a promotion? Can I give a discount? What can I do? If you don't know your numbers, you don't know how to structure your business. You don't know how to market. You don't know how to increase prices. You don't know what to do. You don't know how to control how much you spend. You don't know when to cut back. You must know your numbers. So crunch your numbers. That's what I'm telling you about the product and the service. That's the last bit on product and services, delivering a product and a service, which is the first principle we're talking about in starting a business and learn how to become an entrepreneur in your business. How do I crunch the number on this to make sure that I have a profitable product and I am offering it at a price that will give me a return on my investment? You'll hear them talking about ROI, return on investment. If you go to the bank, they might ask you, what's your profit? What's your net profit? Meaning, how much money are you making after you minus all your costs? Or they ask you, what is the return on your investment? How much money you're going to make on top of what you have put in? But you're not going to know that if you don't track accurately your input costs. Crunch the numbers on what you're doing. That's the major lesson this morning. And have a system of recording that you use to crunch the numbers and pull up the information about what you're doing with your customers and what you're doing with your product and service. You must have records. You cannot run business without records. If they're on your computer, if you have a system, print them out. Print out some reports, look at them. Look at your weekly product costs. Look at your monthly product costs. How much money you're putting in per week in products. Just record everything so you can crunch the numbers. Any person can add up numbers and minus numbers. That's all it is. But you have to have them if you're going to minus them and add them up. That's all I'm saying to you. And I wanted to make this point. I probably should have made it at the front of the lesson, but it's out here now. Just to wrap up, I want to tell you that there are 4 scenarios with this course. I'm in a win-win scenario, and I told you already I'm doing this for a friend, specifically for a friend. But listen, check this out. If you build a house for your mom and your mom is no longer around, or your mom don't want to live in that house again, what you gonna do? Are you gonna leave the house there? You're not gonna live there. What you gonna do? You're gonna either sell it, or you're gonna either see how you can rent it to make some money from it. You know, it's an asset. So it's the same way that these recordings are assets to me. They're digital assets. I've done it in a digital format. I can package it. It will be here forever to help other people. I can sell it if I want, but it is mine. I own the copyright. It is my voice. It is my knowledge, it's my information. I've done years of work and years of studying to get this information so I can share with you. So the first scenario is that I can't lose. I tell you 2 scenarios in which people who listen to this can lose. The first scenario is thinking that this is the be-all and end-all of business. You will not listen to these lessons and be able to successfully run a business. What it will help you to do, it will give you the foundation upon which to apply to the business that you're going to do and to learn more. So it will direct you on the path of what you need to learn, or what you need to sharpen up on, or what you need to get more information on. I'm giving you the pillars, I'm giving you the basics, so you can get involved in self-education. You have to have a teachable spirit. You're gonna have to go in and learn the nitty-gritty of the business. I cannot give you a lesson that's gonna give you every bit that you will need to know on every product. There's 1,000, 1,000,000 different products and services in the world. Of course, they have different intricate aspects to them. But once I give you the general and the fundamentals of products and services of the other areas of business, you will be able to navigate your way around these things. But you will not succeed if you don't decide that you're going to study some of the materials that I'm going to send to you, and you're going to find more information and dive deeper into the specifics of what you are doing and of the business you are doing. That's a second scenario. So you will fail if you don't decide that you're going to learn on your own and that you're going to go through the materials that I'm going to send you. Thirdly, if you don't take any action at all, you're going to fail. If you don't start a business and start to practice these things, if you don't apply them and learn them and do them, it doesn't help. There's no way to teach you how to swim by putting you in a classroom. You have to go into the pool. You could lose 10 years of the actual theories of swimming. If you don't go into the pool and practically try the thing, you'll never be able to swim. It's the same thing. You got to get in there. You got to do it. That's the third scenario. And the fourth scenario is thinking that you can just get the basics and skip some of the steps and not have systems and not have records and not have follow proven principles, and you'll just figure it out because you're special, or you're lucky, or that's not the way I think it should work, or that's not how Mr. Tom does business and he's making a lot of money. You're gonna fail. So I wanted to show you that I'm good, because this is my content and I will always have this, and I always have the rights to it, and I can do 1,000 things with this. It's on my podcast. I can post it there. I can put it on my YouTube. I can put it on my Facebook. I can build a course and put it on Udemy. I can build a course and sell it through my ClickFunnels account, make a funnel and sell it. And I can use it to just give away as a free content to get people on my list, and then I sell them other stuff. I can use it always. For you, the way to do it is to start a business and apply them and learn more. Go deeper. Say, okay, Lewin spoke about production and services. I'm in the insurance business, selling insurance. Let me see how I can get my service right. And you go learn the marketing books on insurance. You go learn insurance products. You go learn how other people are doing it, and you learn. You get down deeper into the intricacies of the specific product and service that you sell. Your level of success, and I'll end it right now with this. Your level of success will be in direct proportion. Your level of success will be in direct proportion to your commitment to excellence. How committed are you to acing what you're doing? Because mediocre, average cannot compete in this marketplace. A global marketplace, the internet has dissolved the borders, and if you're printing and you're not printing good and you're not printing well at an economic rate, somebody in Australia will print for the guy that's next door to you. And somebody in India will write copy and will be doing sales and marketing advertisement for your next door neighbor, for the guy who's in your class. There are no borders. So you have to understand that you got to be good at what you do, and you got to be economical, and you got to know your stuff. So get out there. When I say something, go Google, read an article, subscribe to a list, let information come to you, watch more stuff on YouTube, and get that block of knowledge and start to put them together and relate to them. Have a teachable spirit and do the work. I'm going to do 15 to 20 videos, 10 to 15 to 20 minutes. Those will not be enough for you to set up that multi-million-dollar business that's going to give you the yachts and the jets and the family and the freedom and the lifestyle and build generational wealth that you want. I'm giving you the foundation, and it's up to you to now to go build on that. I'm directing you. I'm giving you a structure. I'm giving you a frame. You have to now build it out. Have a good day, guys. Always a pleasure. Thank you. See you in my next lesson, when we will move to the next important pillar or principle or factor or concept of establishing your business. I'm giving you the 4 or 5 pillars on that you need to build your business. Once you know these, you just need to go deeper in them. You don't have to go all over the place and wondering, what am I to do next? What is right? What am I doing, not doing? You just need to go deeper on these. I'm giving you all of them. All of them. There's no more. Nobody else anywhere on the planet can come to give you anything, because there's no more. I'm covering them so you know what you have to work on, what you have to build out, what you have to focus on. Thank you.